It is a pantheon of concrete and steel. It is a city that rises defiantly in the Delta, alongside the father of waters. It is the humidity of autumn evenings that drapes stately oaks and broad magnolias. It is haunted, and it is loud. It is Halloween night and cannon blasts. It is a Louisiana gumbo of humanity that cheers its tigers to victory and destroys the dreams of invading foes. The chance of rain is never. It is the cathedral of college football, and worship happens here, when the sun finds its home in the western sky. It is a field of glory, for sure, but much more than that. It is a sacred place. And it is Saturday night in Death Valley.
Oh yeah, 5-star LSU. I said they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This is the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey, back and back it on up. Hey.
TA, we are live. What's up, everybody? It is good to be back on another episode of Tigers Avenue. Yes, I am going solo. I'm going solo today. Reagan has not been feeling good at all. Has been feeling sick. In fact, when we were down there in New Orleans and went to the LSU Florida State game, came back and little Zeke, man, my nephew was really bad sick, running a really high fever. And so Reagan believes potentially that he got something from Zeke. So I'm running solo today, but nonetheless, going to be an exciting episode. I'm really excited to get into some SEC weekend games that we're going to be talking about. Obviously, it is Saturday. We got some really big games coming on here shortly at 11 o'clock. We're going to try to keep the show short. So obviously myself can get back to watching college football. And then you, the viewers and listeners, can get to watching college football as well. Should be having Blake Ruffino in here with us to help preview the LSU matchup. I'll double check with him. He was still on his show the last time I checked. I was in the background, obviously, producing, but should be having him on with us today to preview the LSU matchup. But first off, I want to get into some matchups for today. There's some pretty big games on for SEC football fans today that I'm really excited about. Obviously, starting the day off, you've got Alabama, Texas, and I got to be honest, I really don't think that that's going to be a close game at all. I think Alabama is going to completely dominate. I mean, they're already a 3-touchdown favorite. And I wholeheartely believe that they are going to. I don't think they cover. I think Texas is able to stick with them for a little bit, but I ultimately believe that Bama is going to completely dominate this game and just take over because they are Alabama, they're the number one team in the country. But after last week, I mentioned this on our first show. I don't think Bama is. Yes, they're ranked number one in the country, but I don't think they're the best team in the country. I think Georgia is by and far the best team in the country. And so, anyways, but I still fully believe that Alabama is going to take a win there against Texas. No, Texas is not back. So we'll see. Y'all send in your comments. BK Taylor says Bama's going to hang 50 and wins by 17. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Ryan. I don't know if they cover, but I do believe that they dominate the game in all facets. So we'll see. We'll see how the game plays out. You also got South Carolina, Arkansas. I think this is an interesting matchup to me because I want to see how Arkansas does. They're only a 9-point favorite. And to be honest with y'all, I wasn't super impressed with Arkansas against Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati is, in my opinion, a better team than South Carolina. But this is the SEC matchup. I'm going to be really interested to see how Arkansas does in this game. Another early game, so you're going to be flipping back and forth between Bama, Texas, and South Carolina, Arkansas. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I expect a lot of y'all to be doing the same because I'm interested to see how Arkansas plays against South Carolina. The hype around Spencer Rattler at South Carolina, to me, is really not warranted. South Carolina proved that, or Spencer Rattler proved that he wasn't a good quarterback in Oklahoma, and he didn't look good in their opener. So I think Arkansas is going to win this game. I wholeheartedly believe that, and I expect it to be closer than Arkansas fans are comfortable with. I've got a lot of Arkansas fans from the time that I lived in Arkansas. Of course, Reagan's over there living in Arkansas right now, so he's got a lot of Arkansas fans. But to be honest with you, I fully believe Arkansas to win this game. I just haven't been as impressed with them. So we'll see. Wake Forest and Vanderbilt. Okay, so this is kind of my upset. I don't know if y'all have seen our picks. We do picks every week with the Balcony Bengals, and this was my upset of the week. I don't know, but I'm kind of into the Vanderbilt hype this year. So I've got Wake Forest going down, losing to Vanderbilt. I know Wake Forest is like a 13.5-point favorite. I get it. And they're ranked, they're 23rd in the country, but I don't know. Something is telling me Vanderbilt's going to win this game. They look really good in the first two games. They did struggle. They did struggle with Elon a little bit, or however you pronounce that school's name. But nonetheless, I think Vanderbilt pulls off the upset there. So that was kind of my upset of the week. Reagan is in here. Sick Reagan. Best games today: Tennessee versus Pitt, Kentucky versus Florida. Yeah, those are big games. I'm gonna get to those here shortly, and we do have Blake in here with us. So we're gonna preview LSU and discuss what I'm calling TA's tools for success. I'm pretty sure that's like Home Depot, like CBS used to do that with Home Depot or something like that. But I'm gonna call it TA's tools for success. So, anyways. So let's keep going. Look, Missouri, Kansas State. I think Kansas State is going to win this game. It's only a 7-point. Kansas State's only a 7-point favorite. I think they win it by a pretty decent margin. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but I think it's a a 10 to 17-point ball game that Kansas State ends up winning. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm not really confident in that pick. I picked Kansas State to win that game. I'm not super confident in that pick. Texas A&M, Appalachian State. That wholeheartedly believe Texas A&M is going to win that game. Don't really have to talk about that much. Tennessee, Pitt. Now here's where things get interesting. So Pitt is higher ranked. They're number 17 in the country. Tennessee's at 24. I really think Tennessee should be higher. Tennessee is the favorite in this ball game. They're on the road. And I think Tennessee wins. I really do. Tennessee's scary good. Ryan said BK Taylor's K-State by 6. So, yeah, you think it's going to be a close game, Ryan? I don't disagree there. He's got Tennessee by 10. I'm kind of with you there, Ryan. I do think Tennessee wins this game. I picked them to win this game. So, we'll see. Mike Wright, Reagan said Mike Wright, Vandy QB looks really solid, 10 touchdowns through 2 games. Yeah, Vanderbilt's looking good. Like, I'm pretty sure all the Balcony Bengals and Reagan picked Wake Forest to win the game. I don't know. I got a confident feeling in Vanderbilt for this game. So we're gonna see how it plays out, but I've got them beating Wake Forest, Tennessee beating Pitt, Georgia Sanford. We don't have to really discuss that. Florida Kentucky, I've got Florida winning, and I think they cover the spread. I know Blake has talked about this, and we'll bring him on shortly. But I've been really high on Anthony Richardson as well. I mean, he won you the Utah State game last weekend, and I think he does the same. They're at home, so this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. It's going to be a must watch for SEC football fans. But I've got Florida winning that game. All right, Ole Miss, Central Arkansas. This is kind of funny because I used to go to school over in Conway where UCA is. So I've gotten to see some UCA football games, but I fully expect Ole Miss to win this game. Auburn, San Jose State, not much there to discuss. Auburn's going to win that game. They should. It shouldn't be really close. And then Mississippi State, Arizona. This is interesting for me because as LSU fans, I want to see how this game goes. Mississippi State is an 11-point favorite. I do believe State wins this game, but I don't know if they cover this. I don't know if they cover the spread. I think Arizona might keep it close with them for a little while. So we'll see. But man, I'm excited about today's games because there is a lot of football games that are just really good, especially starting here right now at 11 o'clock. But we're going to get into some LSU now. We're going to start discussing the game tonight. Obviously, it's going to be a big matchup. First time LSU, I believe, has played at HBCU. The game sold out. I was seeing tweets earlier that there was like a lot of people on campus today already. So I'm really excited to see the turnout. Obviously, we didn't have the outcome that we wanted last weekend against Florida State, but I think I'm most interested to see what corrections they make. But let's go ahead and let's get in that. Let's bring on Blake, and we will start discussing the LSU game. Blake, what's up, man?
What do you want? I'm just messing. What's up, dude?
You doing good? How did the rest of the SEC show go?
Good. You left about 45 minutes before you were supposed to, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, I had to get my internet fixed because I started lagging out. I was like, okay, I got to switch over. I got to switch over to the extender. Yeah, I know. So Reagan's kind of lame. He's dealing with a sickness, but yet Blake's still with sickness and he's here. So Reagan, you're slacking. You're slacking.
It is what it is, man. You gotta have the marbles.
Let's just say Reagan's just got a weak immune system. We'll just call him out for it.
Well,
Blake's got a superior immune system.
No, I don't. But the question is, do pastors have weak immune systems?
I don't know. Well, for Reagan, it looks that much. It's like the second show in a row, not in a row, but it's second show he's missed in the last three. So I'll call him out for it. He needs to get that immune system up. That's true.
Jesus on his side.
True. And you can't lose. I mean, you can't lose when you have Jesus on your side. So we'll see. Golden Boot Pod said expected 200,000 on campus. Do you believe that? I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's a big game. It's a big matchup.
I believe it
for Southern fans.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it to some extent. Like I think if LSU would have won last week, it would have been most definite. I think that they're just putting that out there. I don't know how much I believe that though.
Yeah. So Blake, let's get into this LSU matchup. Obviously a big disappointment last weekend for a lot of LSU fans, but now we're getting into some games that LSU can really start to work out some of those kinks and some of those flaws that we saw from last weekend. In your opinion, Blake, what is some of the biggest things that you want to see corrected or worked on in this game tonight versus Southern?
Yeah, right tackle. You got to find a guy right tackle that gives a shit. I'm sorry for the language, but yeah, Zach, I think that all of this reverts down to who gives a damn. Like blocking down on an extra point is the only thing about that is who cares more. Florida State cared more. Now, was LSU coming back in the second half? Yes, but who cares more? And this team has had two head coaches, multiple coordinators, multiple position coaches. At some point, Zach, they have to step up. I want to see them give a damn, because if they give a damn, they have the talent. Guys, when you have receivers running wide open, but your quarterback's running for his life, it's not on anybody other than the offensive line. So we'll see.
Anything on defense that you really want to see kind of fixed? I know the middle part of that defense looked pretty rough against Florida State. A lot of guys got open. Seemed like they couldn't get off the field on 3rd and long in a lot of those situations. What does LSU need to do in this game to kind of work on that?
Well, I don't think the linebacker play was as bad as some people believe it was, mainly due to the fact that guys, they had 15 third down attempts, right? Like, so you got to get off the field. Again, getting off the field is a want to. Getting off the field is a who wants it more. And again, Zach, I just question who wants it more, And so with all of that being said, I think it comes down to it doesn't come down to X's and O's. It comes down to who cares most. And I'm going to keep saying that, Zach. Yeah. I mean, you can't go 11 and 15 on 3rd down. You can't have a corner that gets lost in coverage when somebody's running a trick play. Like, dude, he's running a route. He's not even attempting to block you. Like, you should have known that. Kayshawn's got to I know that you're talking about defense, but Kayshawn's got to make plays.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps talking about this defensive line, and I got harassed all offseason. What defensive line? What defensive line? Because, Zach, at some point, you got to step up and make it happen. Jaquaylin Ward, where were you?
Yeah.
People don't like calling out players. I get it. I understand. You're a first-round pick. Where are you? Ali Gay, the targeting rule. Ali Gay not doing well in his run fits. Where are you? That's the point. That's what I call out because, Zach, again, they're calling the right defensive schemes. That's why you have red zone stops.
Yep.
You know what it is, Zach? You know what it is? Frustrating.
It is frustrating because I got to be honest with you. I expected a lot more out of the defensive front, and it was frustrating because you didn't. Yeah, and it was frustrating because you look on the opposite side of the ball, and Jaden Daniels is running for his life the entire night. Now I understand a lot of that's on the offensive line, but Florida State's defensive front last weekend looked good, and they got a lot of push and they got a lot of pressures on JD. Of course, JD made the most of it, but I want to see that more from LSU's defensive front. I want to see them get pressure. And they have the opportunity tonight against an inferior opponent to do that. But real quick, I want to ask you another question. How quickly do we see Garrett Nussmeier tonight? Do you think it's a in a ball game type thing, or do you think because it's Southern we see him kind of get reps early on just to see how the offense would flow against with him out there?
Why does everybody want Garrett so bad?
I don't know. I'm good with Jaden, but I'm asking the question because I know people are asking it.
I don't get why people want him so bad. What has he shown?
What has he shown that Jaden can't do?
Nothing.
Exactly. But people are asking it, and they're going to want to know. Well, are we going to see Jaden?
Look,
you had the fans last week and complain about Jaden, which is just
Zach, here's the truth. Everybody blames losses on the head coach or the quarterback every week, every time. It's not on them. I don't know how quickly he gets in, but let me tell you something. You got to go out there and at some point make a statement. I got to be honest. If this is how it's going to roll and Jaden's going to be your quarterback the rest of the year, yes, you giving us some reps. I want to see Walker Howard before I want to see Nussmeier.
I agree. I fully agree.
Nussmeier's not better than Walker Howard. Walker's better than Nuss. So.
I would love to see Nuss at the end of this game. Blake, one of the things that I want to see personally is I really want to see them get the run game going. No doubt. They couldn't get it going last weekend. It was frustrating. I know me and Reagan discussed that while we were in the stands. Like, we need to try and establish the run. Now, I mean, they couldn't really, but I really want to see those running backs get going. You've got so many guys back there. Of course, this is going to be John Emery's last game of suspension, right? At least we believe so, right? He should be back next weekend. I'm assuming
he'll be back next weekend.
I figured that much. So, gonna be without John Emery, but I want to see what Noah Kane, Armando Goodwin, and Josh Williams look like, against an inferior opponent. So, I really want to see LSU try to establish the run. What's the offensive line got to do to try and help those guys in the backfield? Because obviously, as we mentioned, they struggled a lot last weekend.
Zach, what do you think I'm about to say?
That the running backs need to hit their holes.
Okay, what else am I going to say?
I don't know.
Said 4 times on your show so far. They got to give a shit.
They got to care. Yeah.
They got to care. Okay, and getting blown up on the offensive line is about want to. Don't be passive. And look, I gotta call out the running back room, buddy. You got to hit your holes.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to hit the right holes to be dominant. You got to hit the right holes to go out there and dominate. I think collectively, all 5 offensive linemen and just as much the running back. Zach, they try to get the running backs involved in the passing game and hit Noah Kane in the helmet twice.
Yep.
So we want to make these excuses or we want to blame the offensive line. Well, brother, Carter Bryant did a film breakdown, and in his film breakdown, the times the offensive line got pushed, running backs didn't hit the wrong hole.
Yep.
I don't know, Zach.
There's
a lot of me. There's a lot of me that wants to see a new running back. I want to see a new core. If you don't give a shit, Zach, this is what makes me so mad. When you don't care, I don't care.
Yeah.
Bust that sucker outside and go make something happen. Like, for crying out loud.
You didn't see it last weekend at all. And I wanted to ask this question, Blake, because you mentioned it so much. And I actually thought this whenever we were there last weekend in the Dome. Is it pretty concerning to you that this team it seems a little lackadaisical? Seems like they don't care as much. I mean, you would expect coming off the last 2 seasons that they did and bringing in Brian Kelly that they would be extremely motivated and want to go out there and just tear it up. Is it a concern for you as well that there's a lack of motivation there? Or what do you think it stems from?
It just tells me that this crop of guys doesn't care. That's what it tells me. They got to care more, brother.
Yeah. Because I mean, the protection at the line of scrimmage, I agree. They have the talent and the bodies and the dudes to be able to protect and get push. And it was really concerning to me to see them just whiff on some things. And like you said, just seem like they just don't care.
No, they don't.
So, all right, Blake, we're about to get you out of here, but I want to ask you one last question before you go. I know you got to get going, get to your family. But who is one player in this game versus Southern that you want to see kind of break out and have a big game for LSU?
Oh, Kayshawn.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one player that's got to, drop it like it's hot, as Snoop Dogg would say, it's Kayshawn, man. I mean, look, he pouted last week. He moaned and complained all last week. Show me you want it. Show me you're the first round pick that everybody tells me you are.
Yeah, because he's always hurting his draft stock right now.
Well, if I'm him, if I'm someone in his corner, F his draft stock. That will take care of itself. You got to go out there and want to play. And he doesn't want to, and it seems as if, Zach, he doesn't want to play. Okay? And so if there's one player they need to find a way to get going, it's him. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, meaning, if he pouts on the sidelines and this week you're starting to force feed him, do you send a message to your team like, oh, I can pout and get what I want? Jaden put him in positions to make plays, and he didn't. And he can moan.
I mean, he had like what, 4 drops?
Yeah, I mean, before he recorded a catch, he can moan and complain, and people, I heard the Baton Rouge media all week moan and complain. You got to get him more involved. Where? Because at some point, when you have 4 drops, you got to go to somebody that gives a damn. Jeray Jenkins. Hey, you don't want the game to be a blowout? Don't throw it at Kayshawn. He's got to come out and want to dominate, Zach.
I agree. Well, Blake, we appreciate having you on. Thank you for previewing.
Pastor the third.
Pastor the third.
All right, Pastor the third.
All right, which game are you turning on when you get out of here?
Bama.
Bama, Texas?
Bama, Texas right now. Yep.
I don't know. I think Arkansas, South Carolina starting at 11.
Get those cheeks clapped.
I don't know. I think Texas. Alabama is not going to be close, and so I think I'm going to have Arkansas, South Carolina.
You want to see what's going on with Arkansas, South Carolina right now? Let me show you a demonstration.
You think Arkansas is going to beat them down pretty good?
Zach, they're already beating them down.
Well, there you go.
I'm watching it on the other screen here, and I mean, Arkansas has the ball, and South Carolina's 12, but
12-yard line.
I mean,
yep.
You could just tell, man. I mean, it's already physically.
And Bama's already in Texas territory.
Right. So.
Well, Blake, appreciate you having you. Enjoy your college football Saturday.
You too. Later, buddy.
All right. Bye. All right. Always appreciate Blake coming in. It's always a blast with him. Getting to produce and being in a show and every Saturday morning, it's awesome. I mean, if you haven't tuned in to his SEC show on Saturday mornings, you need to. They always have a ton of awesome guests come in. Me and Pooh Bear in the background, and then it's fun for everybody because they get Jenna in there and they get to do a drink of the week, and it's fun for everybody. Get girls in there, guys in there. I mean, it's a good time. All right, let's look at some of these comments before we move on and discuss more of Southern. Want to kind of look at Southern and some players to look out for as LSU fans. The Golden Boot Pod, Vandy and Alabama moving the ball with ease. I'm telling you, Vanderbilt is coming for the upset. They're coming for the upset. I picked them. If y'all want to go see our picks with the Balcony Bengals, just go to tigersavenue.com. Go to tigersavenue.com. You can scroll down to like the middle of the homepage, and there it is. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I'm scrolling down. Boom. There it is right now. Your boy is leading the pack right now, early to start the season at 13-1. Of course, my only loss last weekend was LSU. My boys let me down. The boys let me down. I was money. I picked Florida. I was the only guy out of our group to pick Florida. I got the pick. I just needed LSU to win, and I would have been perfect. I would have been 14-0 to start the season. What happens? They fall flat on the face. So we'll see. Vandy up 3-0 already. Yeah, I'm going to be I understand Alabama, Texas. I understand it. Whatever. But I don't really care about Alabama, Texas as much as I care about Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, and South Carolina, Arkansas. So that's what I'm going to be watching. BK Takeover said, I guess this is a prediction. 12 catches for 160 yards. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Blake. I think he needs to have a really good game. He needs to go off in this game. And we'll see. Y'all say y'all's predictions. I want to hear y'all's picks for Tennessee, Pittsburgh. I know we've got some people here watching right now. Y'all sending your picks. Who's winning? Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Kentucky, Florida, Arizona State. All right, we're going to do those three. Between Arizona, Mississippi State, Kentucky and Florida, Tennessee, Pitt. Those are going to be some really good games. I'm excited to watch those games. So who do y'all think's winning? Send in your comments. Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi State versus Arizona. Ray Powell, when we were talking about who do you want to see have a really good game, Ray Powell said Will Campbell. I agree. I think Will Campbell had a really good game against Florida State. The left side against Florida State, they had a good game. It was the right side that was really slacking. And I wholeheartedly agree with Blake. I think you got to shore up right tackle I think it'll be interesting to see what they do today. I'm going to be interested to see who they run out with the starting five. But we'll see. We'll see. So let's get into some more LSU Southern. LSU is a massive favorite here. They are a 44.5-point favorite. I got to be honest, LSU fans, I don't think they cover. I don't think they cover. Southern looked impressive in their week 1 matchup. I understand. It was Florida Memorial. It wasn't a big game at all. They were playing some high school team that's been a program for like the last 3 years. But still, they scored 86 points. They put up like 40-something in the first quarter. So, I mean, Southern's got a good offense. I understand the level of competition they've played, but anyways, we'll see how well they do. I think Jaden Daniels is going to go off. I really do. He went off against Florida State. I fully expect him to go off against Southern. I want to see B.J. Ojolari and the defensive line do a lot better this week. We discussed it earlier with Blake. They haven't been as impressive. I want to see them get pushed, and they should. They should get pushed against this team. Against a team like Southern, LSU should get pushed. And that's what I want to see. I want to see them get pushed against an inferior opponent like they should. BK Takeover says LSU by 21. I want more. To be honest with you, Ryan. He also said Moose State by 17. Okay, I picked State to win. I think it's going to be close though, right? I don't know if they win by 17, but I think it's close. Landry said Tennessee winning. I'm guessing they're already playing. I thought they were playing later today. Yeah, they're okay. You were just saying you think they're going to win. Okay, I got you. I was about to say I'm pretty sure they're playing at like midday. I think they're playing at like 2:30. Al Landry's got Arkansas beating South Carolina. I agree. Let's see. Golden Boot Pod said betting tip of the day: Tennessee wins the first quarter and the first quarter total cashes. All right. I'm with you there, Pooh. I'm with you there. I think Tennessee is going to look really good against Pitt. I really do. I fully believe it. I'm scared of Tennessee, and they come to Baton Rouge this season. I'm honestly scared of Tennessee this season. They look good in their opener. I fully expect them to win today. So we'll see. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to wrap up the show. I know it's a shorter show today, but college football is going on right now. So, I mean, we want to go watch college football. Reagan's been sick. So y'all wish him best of health to get better. And hopefully he'll be back with us on Monday when we recap LSU Southern. Let's take a quick break, and then we will be back to wrap up the show.
Five-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at One Nation Doty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. 5-Star Hero. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up the show here. A couple notes on Southern. Rashawn McCory is their quarterback. Surprisingly, like they scored a lot of touchdowns against Florida Memorial, but the stats weren't that impressive. Rashawn McCoy or McCray, whatever his name is, he only had like 79 yards passing. He had 2 touchdowns, but only 79 yards passing. They did not have a 100-yard passer. They did not have a 100-yard rusher, and they did not have a 100-yard receiver against Florida Memorial, even though they scored 86 points. When I saw that, I was like, what? Like, that's kind of crazy. But anyways, so Tiger fans, I understand that this weekend is not as exciting for us because they're playing Southern, but I'm still excited. We should see an LSU win, which is going to be awesome. It shouldn't matter who you play. You want to root for your Tigers to win the game. And I wholeheartedly believe they're going to win this game. But I am excited to see some of the corrections that Brian Kelly and his staff have made. Everything we've discussed with the defensive line to the running backs and the offensive line. I want to see special teams. One of the biggest things we talked about in our opening show was, do we see Malik Neighbors back at punt return again? I don't believe so. I think that you're going to see Sage Ryan back there. I think they're going to give him a shot. Brian Kelly mentioned that in his press conference and talking this week. So we're going to see who they trot out there to receive punts on the first one, but I expect it to be Sage Ryan. We'll see, but I wouldn't be completely against it if Malik Neighbors gets another shot. I was really hard and said, he doesn't feel punts for the rest of the season, but I think he at least deserves another shot. That's the first time he's ever fielded punts in his career at LSU when he started on Florida State. And I mentioned this, but, man, the dome's kind of trippy when you're looking up. Like, you look up, and it's kind of trippy. And it was a big stage for Malik. First time doing it. I don't quite blame him. The first time he was surrounded. The protection was coming down on him. The second time, he's got to catch that ball. So I'll be interested to see how special teams looks. I want to, of course, see the protection up front. We got to see some good protection on the left side of that line on PATs, field goals. And I also want to see him clean up a little bit of the problems that we had with the flags. I mean, you had a completely unnecessary targeting by Ali Gay. He's going to be missing the first half. He'll be back the second half of the game. And the Harold Perkins personal foul on the kickoff. I want to see a little bit of that cleaned up. But that's just kind of nitpicking because really they looked really good. I mean, they really didn't have a whole lot of flags. I don't think Florida State or LSU had a whole lot of flags. I mean, you had that one play where you had the targeting and the pass interference all at once. That looked rough. You had the pass interference on the flea flicker. You had the personal foul on Harold Perkins on the kickoff, and then you had, I think, either a couple holdings. But I mean, LSU wasn't terrible with the flags, so clean up a little bit of that. And I fully expect LSU to come out of today with a dub, and we'll be covering it on Monday. I'm assuming Reagan will be back with us. Let's hope so. But that's all for today, guys. I'm about to go watch some South Carolina, Arkansas, some Wake Forest, Vanderbilt, and I guess some Alabama, Texas. I don't really see the point in watching it, but I'm going to go back and watch it. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you on Monday. 5-Star Hero, take us out. Peace.
Who that 5-star? Who that 5-star? And the LSU Tigers. Who that 5-star? Who that 5-star?